Hello everyone, and welcome to another Let's Play that's already partially in progress. No, that's not the right button. I have a cat on my desk, and okay, so I figured this out a while back. You go to this swoopy thing, and you say, restart chapter 16. So in our last video, we got about halfway through chapter 16, and then realized that I had feelings. I'm an ethical slut, okay? And I had feelings about sleeping with all the characters without talking to them first about polygamy. I can headcanon them as poly, but I'm afraid that the game won't respect my headcanon, and that if I sleep with them, there will be some kind of "you mean you don't love me? We had such a wonderful time together" kind of scene. I don't want to sit through that. It will make me feel so bad. So rather than romance the characters at all, we're going to, or rather than romance them all and risk that, we're going to just romance Raiden. And you've already seen this part, because you will have seen the first half of this video. But I'll read through anyway, because suddenly I realized that you might not have. So just in case. So we're in Lycos. We beat King Luther. We're really sad because Dom has been kidnapped, but we got in our nice dress anyway, and we're gonna go be queen. Hail, Queen Kenna, hero of the 5 kingdoms. Hail. We knew you would lead us to victory, Your Majesty. Thank you. Your hand grips the banister as if you could draw strength from the solid wood. Thank you, all of you. This victory belongs to all of us. Without every one of you, this victory would not have been possible. A queen is nothing without her people. Thank you for putting your trust in me. So we're going to zip through the Kailani and Noah stuff. They're enjoying the party, and they're going to go back to Panrion with our boats and some of our soldiers in order to take it over from Florian. And Kailani hopes that they'll have some kind of say in who the next leader will be. And this is Val. Is it that obvious? Only because I know you so well. So Val is offering us a drink, and she says she's still pent up from the fight earlier, and she's going down to the beach, and if we want some company later, we can find her there. Raydan. I was wondering when Your Majesty would grace us with your presence. Raydan bows before you, taking your hand and kissing it gently. You look beyond captivating. Thank you. Lady Kenna, tonight I request your charming company at my initiation. I'd be delighted. What are you being initiated into? The Order of the Black Asps, my sister's organization of shadows. If I pass Adder's trial. A trial? You mean after everything we've been through, she still doesn't trust you? You misunderstand. This is the way things are done in the Lycos underworld. To forgive me without some kind of test would be seen as weakness. The fact that Adder is willing to let me try it all says a great deal. If you say so, is there anything I can do to help? I was hoping you would ask. I am allowed to bring a second, someone I trust absolutely, to assist me in the initiation, and I trust no one more than you. Are you sure this isn't just a ploy to get me alone? Well, that certainly came to mind. I'm not asking you merely as a friend. Not as a friend. I could choose the other one. I'm not going to, because I liked him being a little tongue-tied. We're way past friends. You're mine. Oh. It's so rare to see you tongue-tied. Consider it one of your finest achievements. Now I must go and prepare, but I'll be leaving in an hour. If you wish to accompany me, meet me by the staircase. Raydan bows deeply before slipping back into the crowd. Now Leon is going to talk to us about Rowan, and we're going to think about all of our decisions about Rowan, who we saved, and who is doing fine, and who will be fine, and will not die. I would be so upset if Rowan died. I would be so upset. So we're going to zip through that. No, don't kick the microphone. We've been over this. The microphone is not for kicking. I'm going to shield it with my hand so you can't kick it. If I could go back in time, I would do the exact same things. Good. Alright, Rowan's fine. Everything's fine. She's not gonna die. She's gonna be Queen Rowan of Thorngate. Okay. Okay. Now's your chance to have 3 separate romantic encounters with Raiden, Annalise, and Val. When you're ready to move on, go with Leon. So we did Val in the last... What's the word I'm looking for? Playthrough. The part 1 that I posted. We did Annalise in the part 2. We did both those paths, and now we're gonna do the Raiden path. We're gonna sneak away with Raiden. So sneak away, off we go. I wanted to show everything we could show because, I mean, it cost so many diamonds to get to this point, and so I wanted to show you the things, and so that's why we did the part 1 and part 2. Normally I don't like splitting the videos up. You meet Raiden by the staircase leading out of the castle. He offers his arm, and you take it. An evening of mystery and pleasure awaits us. I'm a little scared. I mean, they fight with poison daggers. After a short walk beneath the moonlight, Raiden leads you into an empty, candlelit tavern. So what happens at a meeting of thieves? Are we even alone right now? You know what? It just hit me. His secret test could be to lead Kenna here and so she'd be assassinated, so Adder doesn't have to deal with her as a threat. I don't think it is. Raiden would never do that to us, but I gushed in the last video about how much trust he's showing us by loving us when a marriage or match, a long-term relationship would, from his point of view, seem very unlikely. He put a lot of trust into us, but we're putting a lot of trust into him, sneaking away from all our guards and hoping that his sister, the Adder, doesn't kill us. You jest, but your instincts are as sharp as ever. Come on out, sister. Adder emerges, holding your sword. Hey, when did you... Let's not worry about the details, honey. And don't worry, I'm only borrowing it. You run an organization of shadows called the Black Asps. I'm worried. Speaking of... Adder holds her fist up, and a black-cloaked figure emerges from the woodwork, forming a line behind you, or before you, their arms behind their backs. So we just had assassins in the shadows, which I totally believe, because somehow we managed to fit assassins in the quote-unquote shadows of a little rowboat. So, I mean, these guys are nimble. She places your sword in the hand of one of the figures and addresses Raiden. Brother, you only get one shot at this. Don't mess it up. What does that mean? Just keep an eye on your sword. Suddenly, there's a flurry of activity, a jumble of cloaks and fabric and arms. You can barely follow your sword as it gets shuffled back and forth along the line. You catch sight of it in the hands of a woman with several deep scars across one eye. Then you think it moves. 3 figures left. Back 5 right, and finally 1 more to the left. So if it was 4 left, because it was 3 and then 1, and it doesn't matter what order you do it in. If it was 4 to the left and 5 right, then it's now 1 to the right. 4 left, 5 right. 4 left cancels out 4 of the rights, and you're left with 1 right. It's 1 right. Well, where is it? I am fairly confident I know where it is. Do you know, Kenna? My sword is 1 right of the scarred woman. Then you and I are in agreement. Raydan taps the figure, one to the right, who turns around, revealing your sword. Well chosen! I paid careful attention. I was referring to your date tonight. Much appreciated, Adder. I like that. I mean, she approves of us as a person, but she's not wrong that if Raiden can... So this is why I want Adder to run Lycos, okay? Because she'd be really freaking good at it. And plus, I'm marrying her brother, so there's a good close connection there between the two kingdoms in terms of loyalty and, you know, working togetherness and shared interest. Plus, she would be very invested in Kenna staying on Kenna's throne, because if anyone toppled Kenna, that would immediately make Adder vulnerable to being questioned, because she's not royalty. Her claim there is that Kenna put her in charge. So Kenna gives her legitimacy, so she'd have a very vested interest in keeping us and her brother alive and in charge of Stormhold, so she could stay alive and in charge of Lycos. This is a good plan. I'm just saying. Sorry. I don't know who else to make in charge of Lycos. We can't let Zenobia do it. I mean, even if she weren't related to Luther, she's just not competent. Adder turns to Raydan, offering him a dark cloak. Raydan Lykel, congratulations. You are now a member of the Order of the Black Asps. Thank you, sister. On the way back to the castle, Raydan stops you just outside of camp. If it weren't for you, Kenna, I don't know that I'd have ever made it into the Order. What are you talking about? I barely did anything. You knew the right answer, same as I did. True. Tonight, you may have seemed mostly ornamental. Please, stop. You're melting my heart. But you are far more than a beautiful trinket to be gazed upon. I'm liking this better. Keep talking. In all seriousness, if it weren't for you, Kenna, I might never have seen my sister again. And for that, I am eternally grateful. Eternally? That's very grateful. I'm not sure I believe you. It is true. How can I prove it? You can show me tonight just how grateful you are. Of course. After all, I am yours. Okay, now I'm really glad we picked that option. It's okay to be possessive if the other person likes you being possessive. That's the key. So it melts my heart. He's ours. Okay. That makes me happy. I am yours. Why don't you... Wow, that's... Huh. That's really forthright. Okay, let's go to my command tent. It's still set up. Why don't you meet me there? Meet? I cannot accompany you there? I just thought a master of shadows might like the challenge of sneaking past my guards. You question my skills? I assure you, the only way we'll be caught tonight is if they hear you, my queen. Oh? And what would they hear? You will soon find out. Help! I'm dead from the cuteness of this. A few moments later, you're in your tent, nervous with anticipation. Every deep shadow, every whispered sound, every rustling in the night could be him. And this is why, okay, you date a spy master, because they can do this sexy, sneaky up thing. It's official. I've lost my mind. Hands cover your eyes, and Raydan's familiar voice whispers in your ear, his body pressing against yours from behind. You haven't lost it at all. You start to free yourself, but Raydan holds firm. You must not look. There is nothing more sensual than experiencing pleasure of the body without sight. I'll resist peeking, I promise. You close your eyes, and Raydan removes his hands. For a second, you're not sure he's even inside your tent anymore. Then his hands touch you, one gently caressing your thigh, the other cradling the back of your neck. Raydan, I should... I don't know the right answer. I guess resist peeking? We said we wouldn't. You keep your eyes closed as Raydan begins to kiss your neck. He whispers as he kisses you. You are exquisite. His hands suddenly move with calculated precision, and your clothes slip off, falling to the floor. How did you? Shh. Your lips shouldn't be speaking right now. He pulls you against him tight and kisses you deeply. Your hands reach out blindly, touching the smooth skin of his broad chest. Yeah, that's okay. We're giving in and looking. Unable to resist temptation, you open your eyes. You broke your word. And based on what I'm seeing, I have no regrets. He lifts you up onto the command table with surprising strength. Your heart pounds as you lie back on the table, his body pressing on top of yours. Raydan, tonight, I am yours. We accidentally made the best choice ever when we said he was mine. I'm glad I went with my instinct and trusted that the game would do it good. Oh, he's so beautiful. Look at his beautiful scars. I have scars. You almost never... God, I'm sorry. I'm gonna cry, and I promised myself I wouldn't be so silly, but you almost never see people with scars portrayed as sexy. Usually, if you see someone scarred in a movie or something, they're evil, you know, and I have some really big scars from surgeries, and his are so beautiful. So that means a lot to me. I know this game isn't perfect, and this, the book, the writing isn't perfect, and there's some questionable stuff that's happened, but just in terms of representation of some things, not all, it hasn't been great on race. And I've talked about that in the past, but I do very much appreciate how many women are in the game, how much they talk to each other. I appreciate the fact that queerness is treated as perfectly normal. Nobody freaks out over me kissing Annalise in public. That's just, we do it. It's fine. It's great. And I really appreciate that they put somebody in who's scarred and attractive. That's really amazing. So, okay, I'm sorry. I'm being silly, I know. Crying on a YouTube video. Tonight, I am yours. You run your hands along his skin, tracing the fine, pale scars that stripe his chest and arms. Only tonight, Raydan tenderly takes your wrist and kisses the palm of your hand. Tonight and always. You grow dizzy as Raydan explores your body, giving into his touch. His lips. How are you doing this? His tongue, all of him, melting you entirely. Afterward, you stir from a blissful half-sleep. We'd better head back. You turn over in your cot, but find the tent empty. Am I going to have to pin that Aurelian down every time I see him now? As you get dressed and ready to return to the party, you find new comfort in the shadows. Because he could be anywhere watching us, which is, in this context, because we're into it, is sweet and romantic. Context matters. Returning to the party, you find Raydan mingling among the nobles. He shoots you a nearly imperceptible smile. Okay, so now what I don't know is whether to... I could have a talky fun time with Annalise, but I don't... I don't want to do that, because I'm afraid if she asks for romance and I say no, I'm afraid I'll hurt her feelings, and I can't hurt Annalise's feelings. So we're just going to go on to Leon. We're done. Go with Leon. Ugh. Yeah, let's go talk to Luther. Are you ready to go talk with the Blood King? Lead the way. You follow Leon away from the party. Near the door, you run into Val. If you're going where I think you're going, then I'm coming too. No objections here. The three of you continue toward the deep reaches of the dungeon. As you descend in silence, you can't help but think of your lost friend. Wherever you are, Dom, I hope you're okay. You slowly open your eyes, pain throbbing throughout your body, and find yourself lying on a table in a dark laboratory, a cold sensor pressed to your temple. Where am I? Easy there, fire freak. I don't imagine that the hangover from dragon transmogrification is pleasant. Hex. You rise from the table and... all of them are burners, so roaster. You try to conjure a flame, but as soon as you envision it, bzzt, a pulse of electricity shoots through your head. Ah! What you're experiencing is the ultimate preventative measure against your kind. Yes, your people seem to be all-powerful, capable of turning embers into infernos and raising lava from the ground. You writhe on the table, the pain slowly beginning to subside. So instead of playing your game and getting fried to a crisp, I decided to move things to an arena where I'm dominant. The mind. Every time you think about anything even related to fire, an electrical pulse scrambles your brain. Let's test it more thoroughly, shall we? Don't think about fire. Elephants. You close your eyes and focus all your thoughts on elephants. Huh. You have quite a knack for concentration, I'll give you that. I actually had a bit of trouble calibrating the device. At first, I thought the trick would be... As Hex rambles on about her invention, you eye the door of the lab. A moment later, you burst off the table, rushing to escape. I really don't think that's wise. You throw open the door and find yourself standing at the edge of a railing thousands of feet above the ground. We're on an airship. A strong arm grabs you, yanking you back in and sending you skidding along the floor. Stay inside. Good, Anton. That'll be enough. Anton stands still, vacantly staring from the corner of the room. Hex turns to you. See, it's pointless to run. You may as well resign yourself to your fate. Let me guess. You want to use me to destroy Kenna is the obvious one, but I never ever get to choose the funny ones, and I feel like sarcasm is well within Dom's repertoire, so I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. Seize the day. Let me guess. You want to raise a family together. You and me? No? What? Why would I? Are you joking? You're joking. That's the only rational conclusion. You figured it out, genius. Congratulations. Your humor has no value here, like so many things. Hex trails off, staring into nothingness. Her voice sounds distant, hollow. I should have known Luther would fail me too. He failed you? Weren't you working for him? The Navraki family and I had a symbiotic relationship for a time, but I would never subjugate myself to the likes of them. Those fools have no more right to rule than your precious Kenna or any other so-called royalty. Tyrants and brutes, the lot of them. And who does have the right to rule? You? Why not me? Why shouldn't the world be in the hands of the best thinkers rather than the best fighters? Thousands die every year because they don't have enough to eat or because the village healer thinks stump water is medicine. Do you realize how ridiculous it is? That would never happen at the Foundry. We knew how to... Hex's hands begin to tremble. Kenna told me that you destroyed the Foundry. They cast me out. Just because I wasn't content to sit safe inside our walls and let the rest of the world eat itself alive. They refused to help. So I made them help. The ones I saved built this airship. And they'll do more for me soon. So that's your plan. Enslave everyone you meet until the whole world dances at the end of your strings. You're just as blind as the rest of them. Why can't anyone see that this world is sick? The medicine won't be pleasant, but it's necessary. No one sees. Not even. Hex closes her eyes, taking several long, deep breaths before opening them again. Whitlock will understand someday. All of you will. You'll see I was only trying to build a better world. And how are you going to accomplish that all by yourself? Hex looks at you, then a slow smile creeps across her face. She takes a small device from her pocket and flicks a switch. Zzz. Ah! You fall to the floor, every muscle burning with white-hot pain. Hex kneels beside your twitching body, running her long fingers through your hair. But I'm not alone, my force of fiery destruction. I have you. In a world gone mad with fever, you may just be the cure. Now playing as Kenna. Leon and Val at your side, you step down into the dungeons below Lycos, preparing to mete out final judgment to Luther Navraki. Luther sits in his cell, glaring at you as you approach. Must be a special moment for you. I take no pleasure in seeing you, but I'm glad to see you're at your lowest. Hell, that's gotta hurt, huh, old man? Let's just get this over with. No. What? You heard your queen. I have to know. God, why did you kill the rulers of the 5 kingdoms, and why are you like this? I guess the first one? Your foolish mother thought she could unite us, but I saw the rulers for what they really were. And what is that? Snakes. King Amanth, the Thorns, Queen Kalale. They might have all been smiles on the surface, but they were scheming behind your mother's back for power, while she strove for her impossible alliance. If I hadn't taken out those cold-blooded bastards, someone else would have. My mother was no snake. No, you're right. She was truly good. But there isn't much point in taking out 3 of the 4 rulers, is there? Might as well play for all the coins. You're nothing but a monster. Go ahead and believe that, if it gives you solace. Now, have you gotten what you came here for? I have. Luther Navraki, I hereby sentence you to... I mean, we have to put him to death, right? I mean... You can't let him live. I don't like the death penalty, but this isn't like someone who committed a crime and could be a better person with rehabilitation and stuff. This guy is truly evil, and he's got a lot of supporters, and if you leave him alive, he'll remain a threat for the rest of your... Yeah, no, he's dead. Death. Let it never be said that I can't put someone to death. Leon opens the cell, and he and Val drag Luther before you. You unsheathe your sword. Wait, I feel like this should be more public, and not like this. Not going to let me say something? No. When you've committed crimes against humanity, you don't deserve a voice. Luther shakes his head. You don't understand the danger you're in. You hold your sword over his neck, wanting to end things once and for all, but you sense truth in his words. End it, Kenna. After a deep breath, you lower your sword. What do you mean? You defeated, and the realm united under me. What danger is there? I wasn't returning to Lycos to fight you, whelp. I was retreating. If I'd had my entire fleet, you would have been wiped from existence entirely. You, he glares at Val and Leon, and your pitiful friends. What the hell did you just say? We crushed you! Believe what you want. You don't build an empire along the coastline without an unstoppable navy. Retreating from our enemy to the west, the Iron Empire. Our enemy. Get this straight. There is no our. There will be, or you'll die. The Iron Empire is a greater foe than anything you can imagine. Face it, you have 2 options. Execute me and be annihilated by the Iron Empire when they inevitably cross the Great Sea, or combine our weakened armies and fight against them. Together. What? New ally Luther Navraki is joining your lines. No, I didn't agree to this. I already have your army, buddy. I have Zenobia, so even if they're gathering under the Navraki banner, I'll just freaking use her. I'd rather use her than you.
You are not worth anything. You're not a tactical genius. You're a fool. You weakened the five kingdoms by killing their monarchs and setting off this entire civil war that the Iron Empire could profit from. You're not a tactical genius. You're not a genius with the sword. What do you possibly have to offer that I can't get from somebody else better? You're not smart, you're not strong, and your name is actually not that uncommon. I've got another Navraki, I can use her if your name is what I need. I didn't agree to this. Ugh. I mean, I understand they have to do book 3, and then that's the problem with Choose Your Own Adventure, because if you give the player too much choice, then the story diverges too much, and you have to make multiple books or something. But no, I did not agree to keep Luther Navraki alive. And not just alive, but kept in power? To be continued. Thanks for playing Book 2 of The Crown and the Flame. Stay tuned for Book 3 coming soon. Which is not actually coming soon at all. It's already out. So, thank you. Congratulations. Woohoo. We don't have any keys because we've used them all. Stop that. But, oh, there it is. Recommended. So, there's Book 3. That's Kenna facing Dom. That's kind of sad. And it's fully released. There's 17 chapters. So, that is the end of this one. We slept with Raydan, which was lovely. That was just perfect. All of the romance scenes were very, very good. They made me happy. We slept with Raydan. We spared Luther's life, although I think even if we'd said life imprisonment, we would have had to do that too. And got manhandled into keeping him on, which just... Adder would make such a better Queen of Lycos than he. There is no reason to keep him around. And... oh, you need my troops or whatever. Why would they be more loyal to you than they would be to me or Adder or anyone who's paying them? I mean, you were horrible, incompetently. I don't like that. I wish I could have chopped off his head and made Adder queen. Or, I mean, if she didn't want to be queen, if she prefers to stay in the shadows, I'd make Zenobia queen and install Adder as basically the shadow government that tells Zenobia what to do and gives her her allowance so she can have the nice things she still wants. Either way's good. So, anyway, that was the ending. Not the most satisfying ending we've ever had, but I think it was actually pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Effective. Because if it had ended on a happy ending with, oh, now we're with Raiden, and oh, now Adder's queen, and oh, now everything's fine, oh, but the Iron Empire is coming, I think there's a good chance that a lot of people could be like, well, yeah, okay, maybe sometime, another book. But now I kind of want to play because I'm like, wait, no, we don't trust Luther, do we? I need to see how that turns out. So, well played game. So well done. Wow, okay, so that was The Crown and the Flame, book 2. That was all of it. Every single last bit. That was like 400 diamonds, because I started this with 1,000, because I went ahead and bought the most expensive pack they could, because I knew I was going to do this. And so we took 400 diamonds. That was a lot of diamonds to get through that book. But we got through it. Thank you all for coming along. Thanks for putting up with me going off on weird tangents and crying and stuff in your ear. I'm sorry. It just is who I am. Probably not going to change. Because that's just me. But thank you. I will see you in the next video. I know I need to finish Ghostwood, or Braidwood Manor. I haven't yet. And you should definitely check out my friend Griffin's Endless Summer, because that whole thing is just... mystery scary. There's dinosaurs or something, man, I don't know. I think that's all. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.